Look, Jenny Chiu has a long list of accomplishments that we will get to.
Yeah.
She has done a lot of big things since leaving Carolina in a very small amount of time. That being said, one of her most important qualifications here on the pod, Jones, which I'm not even sure you know.
Oh, okay.
Jenny's hometown is El Paso, Texas.
Whoa, deep roots within the pod.
The adopted hometown of the podcast.
Yeah.
What?
We have spent time in El Paso.
We've had the mayor, Oscar Leisman. Leisman? He was the mayor at the time? Leeser? Something like that.
He was the mayor at the time.
Why?
Well,
The Tar Heels were going to the Sun Bowl one year, and I have to admit, I personally was not super jazzed about going to the Sun Bowl in El Paso. So we then, as all good journalists do, Jenny, we started doing a little research and realized that actually, in the words of the city itself, El Paso rocks. And so we learned all about El Paso. Adam and I did like a driving tour of El Paso
Oh my
when we
gosh.
were out there.
I need this episode.
We had the mayor was on with us. It was electric.
according to the mayor, El Paso really, really rocks.
Yeah, double really.
Would you
Yeah, can
agree
you
with
confirm
that?
this, Jenny?
Sure. There are rocks there. Yes, there are rocks in El Paso.
There are literal rocks and it rocks, Adam.
So
Exactly.
give us a native's overview of El Paso.
Oh, gosh.
You know, it's desert. I just took my boyfriend there for the first time this last year. So an outsider's perspective of where I grew up. And I kept saying, you know, it's the desert. It's so different. I love the water. So I live in Miami now. I plan on staying near the water. So I tried to get away from there in terms of the climate. And he thought it was the most beautiful place ever because it's so different, right? When you haven't experienced something like that, it is so beautiful. So I got to see it in a different light than I had previously. And it's special. The people there are very special, very community oriented. And it is a Mexican community, and I'm Mexican. So I grew up in a very unique way because we live on that border town. And then I came to Carolina where there wasn't really Spanish-speaking people that I was around and stuff. So just different culture. And I'm so glad I grew up there because I am who I am now. And I'm happy about that one.
Hey, don't know what you got till it's gone, Adam. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. So Jenny, tell us a little bit about it, like your career. It's like on a freaking rocket ship. Like, take us through how all of this happened for you so quickly, and tell people what you do. Sorry, give everybody a quick update on what's going on.
Okay. Where do we start? So I work for CBS Sports. I cover soccer coverage, football coverage, if you want to call it football, but not American football, not your football.
Sure.
And I'm on many different shows for our broadcast. We now call it the Golazo Network, which is a soccer-only 24/7 network. And it's amazing. I was on the ground of the 5 first talents of this new project, and it should be amazing when the World Cup comes to the United States, and we already have so many years of experience covering soccer in a big way. Because, as you guys know, basketball, football kind of reign in the United States, and soccer reigns in the rest of the world. So now, being at the forefront of that in the United States is massive. I started here, played soccer for the UNC Women's Soccer Program. I went to the journalism school here, now named the Hussman School of Media and Journalism, and I was part of Sports Extra and all of this stuff, but I refused to be on camera for a long period of time. I had anxiety. I didn't think that I wanted to do that, and I would black out at the time. Lots of things. So at the time, leaving college, I did not want to be on camera. That was not what I wanted to do with life. I went to Australia to play a little bit, some more soccer, came back, and I realized I wanted to just be around the sport. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and I promise you that you can probably find it. I applied to be a mascot. I applied to be anything in the world of soccer, like anything. And I got a internship as a social media intern for the Portland Timbers and Thorns. Mm-hmm. And that was the only paid internship at the time within MLS. So that was the only reason why that was the one I needed. And it kind of aligned with the fact that I already had a big social media presence and I was educated in how to present yourself because I played with the Mexican national team, and there are certain guidelines when you're, part of a program like that. I do that. My first day is their reporter's last day. And she was crying and walked out of the room, and I walked in the room. And they were like, well, we need someone to do stuff. Turns out I have a broadcast journalism degree. I've played soccer at a high level. I'm perfect to do the post-game interviews. Nice. And they just slotted me in. Not my intention, not what I came there to do at all. I created a vlog while I was there, just what I do in my day-to-day life. And From there, I got, within 4 months, my first full-time job at another MLS club. It just all happened very quickly and very unexpectedly. I wasn't trying to force anything. From there, I got a job with Chelsea, the Premier League team, and then CBS. So in a very, very short amount of time, I got picked up pretty quickly, and it was never, me applying for those jobs or trying to be on camera, which is very unique because a lot of people know that that's what they want. I didn't know that in college. I didn't know that more than anything, I kind of fought against it for many years.
So when did you get to the point that you weren't like blacking out? When like if the camera was on,
you're
like, oh my Lord, no. Like when did you get past that?
Within the last 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes you just do it. And I think one of the biggest things I realized, because I've covered Champions League in Europe, I've covered the biggest games in football. And I realized that I didn't die. Every time I realized I didn't die. So what am I so afraid of? Right. The idea of messing up and embarrassing yourself and being a viral, horrifying thing is the extreme that I go to. But then you do it over and over and over again. And 100 times in, you're thinking, well, I didn't die last time. Well, I didn't say anything stupid last time. I didn't get myself fired last time. So why am I working myself up to this extreme where I'm blacking out? So then you just get more confident because you don't die and you're actually pretty good.
Sooner or later, you do say something stupid. I'm assuming you have. Like we all
Now
have.
look, that's never happened on this show.
Yeah, other than Jones, everyone has said something stupid, and I'm guessing you have. And
I didn't die.
In some ways, did that make it better? Like, oh, that's as bad as it can be.
Yeah, I think that I work for a boss who made me feel like I am hired because I am me, and I think sometimes we're told you have to act a certain way to be in the broadcast. Like I came into the industry thinking I needed to be something. And then that became dismantled throughout my reps in you don't need to be anything other than what you are. You're hired because you are you. And if we wanted something else, we would hire someone else. So let it rip, do what you have to do. And if you're going to fall hard. And I got lucky that I have someone like that as a mentor to allow me to make mistakes, right? Because sometimes if you don't have that kind of confidence that you can make a mistake, you're too afraid to make a mistake. And I think that was my issue to begin with. So anyone that's like in the world now, make a mistake. Okay, if I had been, during the journalism school, had done more on-camera stuff, I would have been more prepared for the events that I went to later on. Mm-hmm. But because I was too afraid to make a mistake, I missed out on those very important reps. That would have been great. And now you guys have such an amazing opportunity for students and for these people. I wish I would have tapped into any opportunity that I had at the time, and I did not. And I refused to. And I even, when they would say, does anybody want to go do a report on something during Sports Extra, I would run to the bathroom to make sure I was not called. Like I was an extreme case where I just did not think that I could do that.
You are like super polished. Like even the way you speak is super polished. Where did that come from? Like, were you always this way? I can't imagine you always.
No.
Like you,
I mean, it's reps.
Like your
it's reps.
enunciation is incredible.
I appreciate that. Maybe that's what they saw in me and put me on camera for. But no, it's all reps. You guys know that. It becomes more natural to speak and to be confident in what you're saying. I'm still a little bit nervous because we don't know each other that well, right? When I'm on a podcast with people I know, yeah, you know what's coming, but I don't know what's coming. I don't know what you're going to ask me about. What kind of college pictures you have of me or memories? Like I don't know. So I'm a little nervous.
I'm glad you finally brought that up.
Since I said it, now you can't. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I think people have told me in the past that what's meant for you will always find you, right? So even though I fought against it so many times, no, I don't want to be on camera. No, I think you should ask someone else. No, I don't want this opportunity. If it's for you, it will find you. And I feel like that's how my life has been. And I feel incredibly grateful for that.
Do you enunciate this way when you're just having a conversation like at lunch?
I think so. I think this is how I speak. I speak quickly, but I make sure. Right. But I make sure to say my words. I don't know. Maybe it's because. So maybe both of my parents are immigrants. Uh-huh. So a lot of the time, especially when I came to UNC, people told me that I mispronounced a lot of words because my parents mispronounced a lot of words, and they would call me out, and I would feel embarrassed. So now I think that my boyfriend is an immigrant, and I correct him all the time, and he thinks it's so annoying. But for me, I was embarrassed that I didn't know how to pronounce things properly. I want to save you that embarrassment. And he doesn't care. He's like, I'm an executive. I'm so educated. It's fine. But for me, that was an insecurity that maybe that's why I enunciate so much now.
Adam mispronounces things.
I pronounce words all the time.
Like, I'm telling you, Jay, it's ridiculous how bad Adam is.
Yeah, I've just sort of grown to
roll
like
with it
it.
now.
It's part of my character. Yeah. How many languages do you speak?
2, English and Spanish.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you more. Well, I'm learning Italian.
I was going to say, is there not some Italian?
I'm learning Italian, yes. I
How's
can
that going?
understand, I think, everything. I can't speak at the moment. He's looking at me through the window. He's judging my answer right now.
Let me see. I'm going to take some notes here. See what she says she can do.
But when you hear Italian, you hear it, you can understand it.
I can.
But saying it back,
Nope.
do you feel like you could get to the point that you're fluent?
Oh, absolutely. That's the goal. So his family is coming to visit in December. And by December, I expect to be able to have a conversation, right? Not fluent, but a conversation with his family more so than I have been.
Some turkey.
Exactly.
Like something like that. Like,
did you like merits?
right, yeah. Would you like another glass of wine?
Yes.
Like, these are things we can get to.
Right.
Makes sense.
Check back with me in December. I might embarrass myself, maybe not.
Everybody watches these post-game interviews and thinks, oh, I could do that. You've been on both sides of it. You have been interviewed and you've been the interviewer. What do you think? How does that enable you to be better at it? And how do you think we could be better at it? Like, we have to do those interviews. Like, what's the key to a good one?
You're not asking me for advice. You guys have been
Yeah.
doing this for a very long time. I know you don't need my advice, but,
No, but I wanna hear
in
what
my
you think.
perspective, I think that understanding the emotional, moment that athlete is going through. So I think the hardest interview is after a loss. When you're interviewing a coach after a loss, a bad loss, or a player after a loss, they don't want to be there. They don't want to talk to you. And I know what that feels like, to be very upset, but knowing that this is part of the gig. So just being very empathetic in that moment and say, I'm so sorry, before you get on camera. Hey, I'm so sorry about that. Like, just got to get through. Whatever it is that you do on the side before you're going live changes the dynamic of the relationship when that comes through on the camera, right? So I just make sure that, they know that I know them as humans first. Hey, I care about you, and I know that this is sucks that we have to do this interview. I'm so sorry, but let's do this quickly, whatever. I'm sure you guys have moments like that as well.
Never.
What do you say to these big time coaches when they look you in the eye and they don't want to talk to you right now?
Yeah, it's not fun. I agree. I do think it is.
Jenny, let me introduce you to football season.
Yeah, it is managing the emotions of the moment is a very important part of it, without a doubt.
But what you're saying is you're making it less adversarial. Because I think
don't be mad at me.
Right, a lot
I'm
of
the
times
good guy
coaches see
here.
it that way.
Right.
Like, a lot of times coaches see it as like, oh, they're trying to point out how I did something wrong. And you sort of diffuse that.
Right. Like, don't come, which maybe is a good interview. That's maybe the virality aspect if they're angry and they yell at you. But, I don't want that. I want to have a good relationship. And typically, these people that you guys are interviewing and I interview, we all know each other. We're all in the same industry. We see the same interviews over and over again. So they don't want to snap at me. I don't want them to snap at me. We want to keep a good relationship. So just making sure that this is part of our job. We're going to do this. I hope you feel comfortable. I'm sorry that we have to do this. And it's never an attack. It's trying to make things better and trying to give the audience an answer, right? Like, what can help you or help the audience understand what happened today and moving forward? So as long as they know we're on the same side, which I think that they know that about you guys because you cover the same teams all the time, it works out. You get a good interview.
How dangerous can it be on the sideline of a soccer game? Like, how many soccer balls have you had to duck away from?
There's a specific viral clip that about 3 balls within my hit, which, mind you, a hit is 2-3 minutes max, just whizzing past my head quickly, and they're hitting the backboard. Eventually, they hit me.
Sure.
But it hits the backboard and then hits me. So it doesn't hurt that much.
Right.
But that was probably the scariest, and we realized, don't put Jenny behind the goal because people don't like that. People were very upset on social media. Like,
Really?
Why would you put her there? Like, who's taking care of her? All of these things. And that's just where we're assigned, right? Like, nobody's at fault. That's where our post is, and that's where you go.
Sure.
But yeah, I definitely have been hit quite a few times. But it's also, I've played, so I've been hit plenty.
Right,
And
sure.
it doesn't faze me at all at this point.
You're here mostly to talk to us, but then also while you're here, you're going to be at the Sports and Entertainment Summit.
Right.
Is it weird that you're at the point where people are asking you for advice?
100%. What do I bring to the table that I can tell you? All I can tell you is my story, right? And we all have unique stories. What I've learned along the way, but I don't know how much my story is aligned with other people's stories or whether they can see themselves in me. I think I'm a recent graduate, more so than the other people that are part of this panel, and I'm still figuring it out. And I think that that's beautiful, right? I don't have anything figured out. Like, okay, I'm at CBS, which is probably the pinnacle of what I want to do. But I'm very much still understanding the industry, understanding how to network, understanding, what to do in certain moments. I'm making mistakes along the way, and those mistakes can help the students and maybe, for example, avoiding airtime when you have the opportunity to make mistakes, make big mistakes with a low visibility, low cost, make the mistake. Something I wish I did, because I would have been way better prepped or in a way better situation when I did hit those big moments, and I wouldn't have been blacking out in those big moments. I would have been able to articulate a little bit more about what I was thinking about instead of just get this out as quickly as possible and get out.
Is there somebody who is particularly important to you professionally that you feel like helped show you the ropes a little bit, or that you have learned a lot from?
Definitely Grant Wall. I'm not sure if you guys know that person. Yeah, he covered the Tar Heels for a while, actually, in basketball. He has since passed, but he was definitely my mentor prior to his passing. I met him actually at the Olympics in 2016 that I went with the journalism school to Brazil. That's where I met Grant. And as someone who loves journalism and loves soccer, he's the #1 journalist in soccer. So we happened to be at the table next to him. My friend introduces me to him, forces me, right? Because I'm like, that's Grant Wall. That's a big deal. Like, oh my gosh. I end up going to every single one of the matches with him and shadowing him basically as he writes his Sports Illustrated stories at the time. And I learned so much from him, and we remained in contact. And throughout my career, we started covering the same matches. So we would, from just wanting to say hello to this man to him guiding me in how to, talk to the press officer so that they give you an interview, how to, address a mistake online, all of these things I went to him for. So yes, absolutely. Mentorship and making sure you meet people and make connections. Definitely Grant Wall. And I miss him dearly.
We do not have this problem, but you are very likable. What is the key to kind of conveying that through social media in a way that comes across as being authentic? Like, I don't think you're trying to be likable, including on social media, but it still comes across. What's the key to doing that?
Adam's furiously going to take notes on this, Jenny, so just be ready.
I have no idea. I'm just being me. You either like me or you don't. I don't really care anymore. I think so much of my college time was spent, I hope a lot of college students listen to this podcast, was spent caring about what other people thought about me and whether they approved of certain things that I did or said or what relationship I was in. I thought about that stuff. And now I'm like, God, my life is my life. I deal with the consequences of my life. I have to live in the day in and the day out. I just don't care anymore. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. And as long as my employer is not upset with me and I still have a paycheck, we're good. And they're not going to get upset unless I do something extremely crazy.
So how'd you figure that out?
How did I figure that out? That they're not going to be mad at me?
That you don't have to spend
that. It doesn't matter that you don't have energy. That energy caring what other people say isn't energy well spent.
I'm sure I learned it in a lot of different ways. I don't know if I can pin down. When did you learn that? You had to
I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
Every night I'm up. Jen sends me notes on every show. Read them through. Like, oh, you really botched this.
No, stop it.
No,
how do you get over it? Because we all have different moments when we recognize. Because I think everyone does eventually come to it, right? It depends on where in our journey we come to it.
I got great news. Nobody's ever said anything but nice things about me, so I'm in great. I'm in great shape there, Jenny. This is a classic. Jenny has thrown the Uno reverse card.
Why won't you answer?
Why she's speaking at the
Why won't you answer it?
I don't have a reason. I'm not answering. I don't have a great answer either. I just think at some point you do become comfortable enough with who you are and what you're doing that there are some people that you know what? Mac Brown actually has a great answer for this that I think he's right on. He says, don't worry about what people say unless that is someone who you would ask for advice. So, there are people who I would certainly ask advice from that I would be interested in their answer to and am seeking their opinion. But if this person who says that you suck or that shirt is ugly or whatever, like, why do I care? Like, I wouldn't ask that person for advice about anything else. So why would I care what they think about this? I guess that would be my best answer. I would think too, like, how do you avoid the weirdos? I would think as a female online who you're living, you have to live your life out there in front of people and online. How do you make sure the weirdos aren't in there? Or how do you avoid the weirdos?
I block.
Just block the heck out of it.
If you make me feel uncomfortable, I block you. But why would I allow myself to see that? If it upsets me, I don't need to see that. I don't need you to ruin my day. You're a random person, like you said, that I don't care about your opinion for. I have, I think, 1,000 people blocked on Instagram because if you creep me out,
right,
you shouldn't have access to me. I don't need access to you. I don't care what you're doing. You want access to me, and I will now revoke that from you if you creep me out or bother me or accost me in any way or whatever.
Yeah.
You have 1,000 people blocked on Instagram?
I think so. We can check.
That's a lot of people.
I mean,
like the first one you got was probably a little different than the 1,000th. I would think the first 10 weirdos were tough because did you not wonder, like, oh, is it supposed to be like this?
I'm very lucky that I have my older brother who also graduated from UNC. That when it does bother me, I go to him and I tell him this happened. I screenshotted.
Yeah,
you know how many
exactly. I like it.
You know how many? So when I was announced, the worst time it ever happened was I was announced as the Chelsea host for what is it, Chelsea USA? I don't even remember. So I did a video a week for Chelsea. I would cover their matches, the men's and the women's, and anything else that happened in the Premier League. I would wrap it up in a video, edit, send it out. These people had never seen me before, and I am a unique-looking individual. There were, high thousands, not 1,000, high thousands of comments on that first video. And a lot of them were the most inappropriate, gross thing I had ever seen. Like the most vile comments you could ever say about a person. Like, there. And I went through and I read them all because at that point I cared about whether people liked me or not. Because it's true that likability matters when you're on camera to a certain extent, right? When you're at a certain level, it doesn't matter whether you're likable or not, you're famous. But to be famous, you kind of have to be, people want to hear you speak, at least. That was a very hard moment. And I think I cried like multiple times seeing this. Like, I bring so much to the table. I played, I went to broadcast journalism school. I work so hard on these videos, and you have sexualized me and put me down to that. I was very offended. And my brother was like, the people that do that, like, you would never do that. You would never go and comment something negative or something sexual or any of these things to anybody else. So why do you care about people that would do that? Like, those are people that are in their basement, like, being weirdos, because normal people don't do that. Normal people don't spew hate online or sexualize random people just doing their job. Like, it's not like I was naked. I was full. Sure. I was wearing a quarter zip all the way to the tip of my chin. I can show you the video. Full long sleeve. And somehow they wanted to bathe in my bath water and they wanted to drink it, and it was insanity. So yeah, sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but the first few were very extreme and gross, and now I'm just like, those people are weird.
Right.
Bless them.
Well, but even today, like, you still have to be conscious of that in a way that I think we don't think about. Like, even before we did this, you were like, well, I'm gonna class it up a little. We don't ever really think about that. I don't.
I never think about classing anything up, Adam. But that's why we need Jenny here to class it up in here.
Yeah.
But I get your point. No, like, it's something that you have to be aware of at all times, I'm guessing. That Adam and I and some people don't.
Yes, but it's so normal to me now. I don't even know how to tell you how to do it or what I have to think of, because I've always been me. So I've always had to deal with this stuff, and it's kind of more natural now. And now I have a boyfriend, so it kind of like wards off some of the weirdos. And I'm very public about my boyfriend, so I think that they're like, okay, Fine. We'll leave you alone.
I did have a shot, but now I don't.
The list of bros that are coming after you. You got brother, boyfriend.
Yeah.
Adam and I are on the list now, so watch out. We're coming for you. Let's go back to Carolina. What was your time like here as a player? How did that affect you? How has that helped you as you move forward?
I'm so glad you asked because I've never talked about this. Your girl is not a starter. You can pull up my stats, okay? And it was very difficult because you go from being the best everywhere you've been. At the time, I was part of the U.S. national team pool and the Mexican national team pool. So I am good, quote unquote. You come here and you're the worst. Absolute worst. In comparison to the seniors that already have so much experience, and they're all on the national team too. I mean, everybody that was here was on a national team. And it was humbling. And it was an experience of losing myself and then trying to find myself and redirecting myself to journalism and figuring out that I wanted to stay here and not transfer because my brother was here. And at the time I had a boyfriend here, and I just deciding what was important to me, right? Because I could have transferred and gone and started probably anywhere else, which is a common thread with the women's soccer program here. And I stayed. And it was a choice I made that soccer wasn't going to be the number one thing. It was one of my things, but I needed to figure out what else mattered to me. And that is probably the biggest thing that happened to me in college. And I think I put myself on a trajectory to have accomplished so much in such a short time because I was able to make that mental switch. I think that a lot of my teammates that were maybe more successful than me on the field, no, they were all more successful than me on the field, that were more successful than me on the field, they had that exact phase of, the identity shift from just athlete to, I don't know, quote unquote, real world business a little bit later than I did, or years after I did. And they struggled and I had to help them through. I already went through this in college. While you guys were living your best moment, I had to re-identify myself as, sister, journalist, friend, in a way that they hadn't yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah. When you live in the national and international soccer world, what kind of cred does I Played at Carolina establish?
It does, actually. So international, like Champions League, is one of the biggest things I've covered. They probably have no idea, like zero idea. But anything in the United States, so for example, I cover a lot of women's soccer. And everyone in women's soccer knows, oh, you went to UNC, that's immediate respect. And you guys know that because you know what UNC women's soccer means. But it carries, right? Because college soccer is one thing, but it carries. And there's so many different players that are previously Tar Heels, or I guess still Tar Heels, that it makes an easy connection with different pro teams. Okay, Brianna Pinto plays for the North Carolina Courage. I see her at games. She sees me. We say hello to each other. That then opens the door for me to meet all of her teammates and allows me to get a better interview post-game because I am one of them. They know me. I'm good. I am qualified to be doing this interview because I've been in their shoes. Maybe not at the pro level that they are, but I understand the dynamic and I respect what they do.
You said earlier you were talking about at some point people get famous, but to get there they have to be likable, I think, or something along that line. Do you feel like you're famous? And if not, do you want to be famous?
Fame. No one will ever recognize me that is not in the soccer world. But if I walk into a soccer-specific place, I'm famous in the soccer-specific niche that is, right? Which is not big in the United States. But I think that, do I want to be famous?
Is that validating in some way?
I think it used to be, but I have, again, redirected and reshifted, and life is an ever-evolving process, right? So I had that whole coming to who am I, what is my identity in college, but I'm also working that as well now when the career and the family, decisions are being made. I was in Connecticut for CBS Golazo Network, and I was very much, we were long distance, my boyfriend and I, because I was in Miami prior to the launch in Connecticut. And it was an idea of what matters to me right now. Is it yes, I'm going to be number one in what I do, but I'm going to lose my partner that I want to marry and have kids with, potentially, or can I have both? And I'm in this unique position where I can now have both. I live in Miami. I still work for CBS Sports, and that restructuring in my mind has made it seem, or has made me realize that the fame is not what I'm searching for, right? It was never that, because I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to be a person. That's not, a lot of people are driven by exactly that, but that was never my case. I was always just accidentally in the right place at the right time and forced into it. If you go back to when I was an intern, I would beg them not to force me to do the interviews. Like, that's not what I wanted. But now I want to host a World Cup. I want to be, the biggest thing in a World Cup in this country, because that is the pinnacle of my sport. But I recognize that that's not what drives me, right? The idea of having a good home life, a happy life with my partner, and potentially kids and a family and friends is what now drives me, while still being able to strive for greatness in my career. So do I want to be famous? I want to be famous enough to cover a World Cup in our country, and then I'm good to just go into the shadows. That would be great for me.
Do you really think you could go into the shadows? Like, if you host a World Cup, then they're going to be like, oh, Jenny, you did a great job. The next World Cup's coming up, and it's international. We'd love to have you go do that. You're going to say, no, I'm going into the shadows. I'm going back to be the mascot for the Portland Thorns.
What even is the mascot? I mean, what do you wear?
That's great. That's great. There's no way that they could have made me the mascot of the Portland Timbers and Thorns, because it's a big lumberjack.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see that.
It doesn't work.
Sure you're the part.
You guys might. If we could combine the two of you as a human.
Look, there's a lot of things that could happen if Adam and I combine.
That might work. I forgot the question, sorry.
Do you really think, like, if you could host a World Cup and then step back and be done, do you legitimately think you'd be happy?
You don't know until you get there, huh? No, I think that I am always driven by being a career woman, but I still want to have both. And I think that, one of the biggest realizations I've had being in this industry is I meet a lot of women in their mid-40s who were so just single eye pointed at being the best at what they were doing. They didn't have the family, they didn't have the kids, and they look to me and they have regrets. And so many of them have talked to me about it that I just don't want to do that. So I think that that's my restructuring is, okay, you want both. And right now, women have a clock. I have a clock as a woman that I need to recognize that and make the right choices right now.
Well, you didn't know. We're bringing the heat on this interview today.
You wanted to get real personal? We can
talk about when I was playing with Anson. It'll be hilarious. It'll be a great interview.
Well, here's the problem. Part of what makes Jenny likable is you feel like you can ask her anything, and she'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm very okay with answering anything you ask me.
Do you feel the same way when you're asking someone else a question? Like, is it hard when you know you've got to ask somebody a question who just made a terrible mistake? Do you feel comfortable going, well, you just made a terrible mistake. Why'd you do that?
Yes, because I think that you can feel the warmth and you can feel that you're not trying to get me. I think that I also convey that when I'm interviewing people. I'm not trying to get you. There's not a gotcha moment. We're here together. And you're making me feel that way, so I'll tell you whatever you want. Go ahead.
All right, you got any stock tips? Okay, what's next? What's immediately next for you? Where, like, if people are like, you know what? I really enjoyed this conversation with Jenny. I'd like to check her out on TV more often. Like, how can people see you? What's coming up next for you?
Beautiful. I'm actually doing an interview with Crystal Dunn, also former Tar Heel. She was a senior when I was a freshman. That social media piece is I'm filming in New York right when I get back home. So I go back to Miami and then I go to New York. And then the next week I go to Austin to cover the U.S. men's national team against Panama. That will be... We now are under Mauricio Pochettino, new manager for the U.S. men's national team. It's a big deal because we are hosting this World Cup in 2026. So I'll be at that match. And then I'm doing the NWSL Summer Cup, Liga MX Summer Cup. That is in October as well. So I just cover a lot of soccer matches, and I fly around wherever there's a match to be covered. I do sidelining. I do Scoreline, which is our show that I love being on as a reporter for. I don't know. I pop up everywhere. But basically, CBS Sports Golazo Network is where you can find me most consistently. That's where I do all my stuff. And then I'm on social media just talking about my life and probably my boyfriend because I'm obsessed, if you didn't notice.
Go ahead.
What's your best travel hack?
Oh. This
it
is
sounds like you travel a
100%
lot.
simply for Adam.
Never.
This is simply for Adam.
Never check a bag.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You knew that, though. Never check a
Yeah,
bag.
give me something a second level.
Okay.
Yeah, Adam's like, that's baseline stuff.
Yeah, you don't
That's
check a
baby. That's a baby.
You're right. I'm going to assume you always have your headphones. Noise canceling headphones. Okay, too basic. Sorry. I love this sleeping mask that I have.
My wife really likes her sleeping mask, and I make fun of her.
Oh, why?
Because I'm mean. I'm not as nice as you.
Are you mean? I'm not getting that vibe. I feel very nice energy coming this way.
Jen's, clip that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the persona that you act on as on camera. You act like you're a little bit meaner, but meeting you, you're very kind. There's warmth coming this way. I feel great about you.
I feel like I owe like an hour fee for therapy after this. This has been incredible.
We all play a character.
So sleep mask, you're in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but the one that I have, I can't even remember the name of the brand. It doesn't cover your eyelashes because your eyes are supposed to move and flicker.
Yeah, got to get some rim going on.
Exactly. So there's some space. So there's cushions around the eyeballs so that you have space for your eyelashes to move and stuff because that's very good for you.
So yours is even weirder looking than my wife's, is what it
Maybe.
sounds like.
I think I look great in a sleeping mask.
Okay.
Most people do.
I got one more question.
Yes.
And then,
And then I can ask you questions?
sure. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I want to get invested in the men's national team. I want to.
Oof.
But it's like they let me down so often, which I'm never used to with the team that I'm
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like I want to like get really excited and get involved and not just be the dude who shows up in the World Cup and like, hey, yeah, USA. I want to get invested. Mm-hmm. Is it time? Is now the time that it's gonna happen that I can feel good about getting invested?
Gosh. Well, the roster was released yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel great about it.
Okay.
Just
being real.
Full
Look, this is
transparency,
real
I
talk.
don't feel great about it. Because I understand what a World Cup is, and I've watched so many World Cups, and the level of player that you want is much higher. I would say that, like, at the local levels, at MLS, a Premier League team, a Bundesliga team, a Serie A team, that kind of investment will then make you a U.S. men's national team fan, right? You go and become, he's going to kill me for this one, but you go and become an AC Milan fan because Christian Pulisic plays for AC Milan, and you follow that week to week. You become so invested in him and in soccer that you then become a U.S. men's national team fan. I don't think it's an immediate
It's
U.S.
not
men's national
consistent
team.
enough.
Yes.
Just from like the action,
Yeah,
it's not consistent
scheduling.
enough. Okay,
You
yeah.
only see them once every 4 months. It's a bit hard to be so invested in them. But if you're following them as athletes, as teams, as club, and you're seeing their stories unfold, I think that's a little bit easier to
Makes sense.
to feel connected to them and then want to support them on the national team.
Okay, what do you want to ask Jones?
Oh,
No, both of you. Okay, am I right about you? How about we start? Am I right about you?
No, I'm really mean.
Am I right about him, or is he mean? Ooh.
no, Adam is not mean. No, he's very pleasant. Adam is very pleasant. Yes.
I do try to be meaner on here than I am in real
Yeah.
life.
No.
So I'm right. So I'm
Yeah.
basically a therapist.
Yeah,
Got-
you
got
nailed
you
that.
on
As
that.
soon as you said it, I was like, okay.
Got you on that.
It's a persona. It's a persona.
Yeah.
So what are you? I haven't been able to figure
That's a
you
great
out
question. Don't know.
because you're very poised. You're not giving anything away, and I can't read you. So
Big.
what is he?
Mission accomplished, baby.
Who is he? What is he? What? Why am I not getting? I can't tell if he likes me or if he hates me right now. You know?
Yeah, that's what got to keep you guessing. I mean, keep you on your toes, Jenny.
Exactly.
He's always been the more professional half
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's his job. Like, it's his job to be that face of Carolina athletics, and you have to have a certain poise to pull that off.
I mean, look at this, Jenny. This is what they want. This is what the
That's
people
the
want
face.
right here.
That's the face. That laugh is incredibly memorable.
Oh.
And the laugh is the likable part. more than anything else, right?
More than the actual person. I would agree with that.
You know, everything else, I'm not saying the rest is unlikable. I'm saying that the laugh is like, it carries, you know? I would come back to listen to who can make you laugh.
Yeah. Okay, last thing. I've said that a couple times. I feel like you are someone who could give us something cool for the room in here. Like, do you have something cool you can give us? Look at all the stuff we have.
Like right now?
No. Just, I mean, it doesn't have to
in
give
general.
us your phone. Give us your phone.
I'm
Give us your purse.
I didn't come with much.
We're actually mugging you, Jenny. No.
Okay.
Like, I feel like you would have something cool that we could display in here. Look at all the stuff that we have.
I know,
Some of it's very
but
random.
it's very Carolina oriented.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
We're willing to expand our
We will have
horizons
we'll take
throughout the world.
I just feel like you would have something cool for us.
Yeah, it's definitely not baby blue, probably.
That's fine.
That's okay. I would rather not be red.
Okay, no red. I mean, I'm a big jersey collector. I'm not sure if you guys have seen my series on social media.
Right
where I style
I have a cookout
soccer
jersey, for goodness
jerseys.
sake.
I will send you a very great jersey, and I'll try to get it signed.
We gotta make a contract for this, Jenny. I'm about to write this down.
I'll find a really. Are you a fan of anything? I can make anything happen. Are you a fan of any soccer team?
I like Man City. How about that?
Okay.
And it's Carolina Blue.
It is Carolina blue.
All right,
I thought you were gonna get a different color in here, but nope.
All right, look.
What about
All right,
you?
Jenny, you're signing the sticky note.
got it.
Jenny will send us a jersey.
I absolutely will. You got to tell me what kind of jersey you want.
This is a binding contract that we're going on. Look at that.
Today, 9, 8, 10.
Today it's 10-3, 24.
Beautiful.
All right, there we go.
Don't sell it.
There we go.
Did you tell me what you want? Team, anything. U.S. men's
I'm
national
part of the
team.
podcast team. That's a podcast jersey.
Look it over here. This is going to be our IOU.
Okay.
Right there.
You got it. I promise to send a jersey. I'll think of something really cool.
Yep.
If you don't have a team yet, he'll sell you on Inter Milan.
If he'll say it like that, I'll cheer for anybody that says it like that.
Jenny, I've got exciting news for you. You are going to be in consideration for a potty.
Yeah, but just turn around and gaze at what you might win, because I think you've got a chance.
Oh, this?
Yeah, biggest honor we have. They used to be the Golden Geese, but they stopped selling those, so we had to go to the microphone.
Yeah.
But that's what the award. Every year, top interview in 4 different categories. I think you got a chance.
Oh, wow. But I don't even have any really great UNC stories besides the fact
Doesn't
that
have
I
to
sat
be.
on the bench.
Yeah.
One of our most recent winners didn't even go to UNC, had nothing to do with UNC.
Yeah,
And just talked about being in the Secret Service all the time.
Yeah. So you're good to
cool.
go.
Okay.
Jenny, appreciate you joining
Well, now I expect an award.
Make it happen.
You hear that, voters?
Yeah.
I
that's right.
expect an award, everybody.